Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Colleen Klimczak. I'm an organizational and productivity coach and a certified professional organizer. I own Peace of Mind Professional Organizing, LLC. Since 2003, I've been helping my clients live better lives through organizing and organizational and productivity coaching. I support my clients and my community with coaching, in-person and virtual organizing, my weekly podcast called Your Organized Life with Colleen Klimczak, a free weekly virtual productivity session called Finish Line Friday, a free weekly email newsletter, and regular content on Facebook and Instagram. I also offer presentations and professional development to groups and companies. And coming soon, I will be launching that membership circle to support my community with even more coaching and productivity content. Want to finish strong this week? Join me for Finish Line Friday every Friday morning at 9 a.m. Central for a 2-hour productivity session. Drop me an email at colleen@peaceofmindpo.com to request my Zoom room link or follow the Zoom room link on my Instagram or Facebook pages. Welcome to Your Organized Life, episode 138. So right now, the working title of this is Beyond the Bags, Post-Trip Recovery and Focus. We'll see if I still like it in a week when I actually publish it, but that's the deal. That's what I'm working with today. So the premise of today is that re-entry is no joke. I mean, man, it is really, re-entry is no joke. And that you probably need more than 24 hours. I certainly know that I have needed more than 24 hours. So here's where I'm headed today. I know I've written and spoken multiple times about re-entry. Re-entry is the term that we, myself and a few friends, use to refer to the getting home from travels, or really any upending of our normal schedule. It can be travel, or it can be an illness, or, something like a conference, even a local one, that takes us out of our normal for a few days up to a few weeks. If you go to my website and click blog at the top, type re-entry in the search bar, and at least 3 articles will pop up with advice for this transition time. So there's one that's called Re-Entry After Travel Bumps in the Road. That was from last year. There's one that's called Dealing with Re-Entry, Managing a Tired Brain from 2015. And there's one from 2014 that's called Keep the Vacation Going with an Organized Re-Entry. So to summarize, when facing re-entry, I strongly recommend that we all, first up, arrive home and take a few minutes for a nature break and a really big glass of water. I don't know about you, but I always seem to travel dehydrated. And then I strongly recommend that we all unpack the entire car if you traveled by car. Yes, the entire car, and collect and toss all the trash. We want to unpack all the bags. Yes, all the bags. We want to start some laundry, put things away, and then put away all the luggage. And I'm going to say it, yes, all the luggage. And then we probably need to check the mail, and if you're me or similar, we need to check the front porch for delivery packages. Maybe we need to plan to order or buy some groceries. We probably need to keep working on that laundry. You get it, right? These are the easy and the obvious. And I have successfully managed these specific tasks around re-entry multiple times in the past month. And I was still feeling a bit out of sorts because there is more to re-entry than just unpacking the car, putting away the luggage, and doing the laundry. The 3 articles that I mentioned provided steps and planning for the first hour or even the first 24 hours of arriving home after a trip, or again, after one of these events that can upend our normal schedule. The articles go over the basics, but I find that I need more this time. I did a thorough job of vacationing. And that is noteworthy because I do not always do a thorough job of vacationing. I can't always step away from work. But over the last month, I did on multiple occasions. And I am proud of that because I don't always get to make such a clean break. But I did make that clean break and I'm glad. However, I knew there might be an adjustment period because of that. And yeah, I'm there. I'm at that adjustment period. I will be vulnerable and transparent with you this week. I have been struggling, not in some like huge, dramatic way, but as an organized and productive person, I have been struggling in my head because I'm distracted and tired and unfocused, and that is frustrating to me. And then last week, I had a shining and brilliant moment of clarity and awareness. And I realized that I am still working through reentry, even though I got home from our big trip to Alaska almost 3 weeks ago now. And also that I need to slow down and I need to enjoy the post-vacation relaxation and stop pushing so hard to figure things out, because pushing hard is getting me nowhere. That clean break means that I need to find my stride again, and that's okay, and I will. But again, I need to be aware of all of those factors. So we have a theory when it comes to reentry that we need as many days as we plan to be gone to plan for a trip, and then we need as many days as we were gone on the other side to feel back to normal. For example, we traveled to Alaska and back from Thursday to a Wednesday, so that's 7 days. According to the theory, I needed at least 7 days after to start feeling like things were back to normal. And instead, 7 days after we returned from Alaska, we were already traveling again. And then again, until last night. So I just looked at the calendar, and if my reentry theory holds true, sometime next weekend, I should expect to finally feel back on track. And if I could insert a facepalm emoji into a podcast, I would. Wow. That was really humbling to look at the calendar and do the math. So this feeling of off kilter is understandable and even expected with my own theory. This awareness, though, is important for me to be able to put a name on what I'm struggling with, to acknowledge it and to respect the process, which means cutting myself some slack instead of pushing so hard to immediately get back to normal. So what can I do to make things better? I will pay attention to the usual survival tasks even more, and those would be rest and sleep, and hydration and healthier food choices, because of course when we all travel, sometimes we don't do all of those things, and then also some nice deep breathing. I will also be honest with myself about my expectations, asking for grace and flexibility from others and from myself as I readjust. I started writing this article on a Saturday afternoon while everyone else was outside in the sun on the lake. And that is okay, because working on this in the cool and the quiet is what I wanted to be doing right then. So respecting that is important as well. I will also do a brain dump, or as my friend Jen christened it, a cranial cleanse. I've actually done most of the cranial cleanse. I've gotten a lot of the ideas out of my brain, but now I need to put all of that info in order so that I can do something with it. And I was actually on Pinterest last week looking at office inspiration for a client, and I saw a really great visual of a brain dump. It was actually like a piece of paper, an 8.5 by 11, but it was sectioned into topics like people to call, or house tasks this week, or bills to pay, or errands to run. And so I really liked that idea for some of us. That visual prompt could be really helpful. Also this week, if my schedule permits, I will block out some planning time for this week, the rest of this month, the third quarter, etc. Yep, we're in July now, so Q3 is here. And I also will meditate this week to clear my head and set my purpose. Why do I always forget such a great tool? I don't know why, but I always do. And so I'm going to remember that this week. And next time, I'm already planning for next time, I will remember to plan for these extra days on the back end next time we travel. Why? Because, as I started saying at the beginning, re-entry is no joke. Re-entry needs to be acknowledged and respected and planned for, and in my case, even allowed. Because pushing harder is not always the right solution, and it certainly isn't for me this week. So I'm asking you, can you relate with this? Does it resonate? And I really want to know, so please let me know. I want to make sure that what I'm writing about is what my community wants to hear about. So please reach out to me via my website at peaceofmindpo.com or via my social media channels like Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, or, via email or text. I would love to hear from you and to know how best I can support you and your journey to your best life. Because support around getting things done is what productivity coaching is all about. If it's time to invest in yourself and explore coaching for organizing and productivity, I would love to hear from you. Drop me a line via email at colleen@peaceofmindpo.com or message me through my social media platform like Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you next week.